First of all, for those who are going to be coming to DC, I saw some last minute information that there may be a YRC concert late Friday afternoon, the 7th. Um, they've been,
Hmm.
as you know, they've been sort of cobbling this together at the last minute, and they applied to give a concert at 5 p.m. at a Presbyterian Church on Capitol Hill.
Hmm.
So, and they should know by Tuesday whether that's going to happen or not. And I know
Nice.
many of you have already made your travel plans, so don't change your travel plans on account of this, I would recommend. But as soon as this is confirmed, I'll let you guys know. Hopefully, it won't be too long a concert so that we have actually time to get to Lafayette Square for our rehearsal. But just letting you know that may be in the works.
Our rehearsal's at like 7, right?
7:30.
7:30.
So, and Capitol Hill Presbyterian, it's not far. I mean, it's as far as the White House and the Capitol are from each other, but it is a bit of a distance. So,
Is it in
um,
Capitol Hill then?
what's that?
Is it in Capitol Hill? It must
It's
be.
on the hill. I don't know exactly where on the hill, but it is on
Okay.
the hill. Yes. Any other? Let's see. Other questions, comments? Did you guys see the link to the list of optional cultural
Hmm.
outings?
Yes.
Yeah, so do take a look at that and put your name down for the things that you're interested in. And I'm not sure what the deadline of that is, but I asked John Graham to update it to indicate what the deadline is, so that we know. Fiona, your hand is raised.
Yep. Yeah, thanks for sending that out. I was looking at it and I was looking at the brochure to figure out like what else we would be doing that day. And did some of the days and things change for the tour itself? Because it looked like one of the days that was an outing was also a day we were going to be singing with another organization. So just wanted to make sure I understand the latest for the tour itself.
Yeah, I as soon as I have reviewed the latest version of the itinerary, I will share it with you guys, and it will be the final version.
Awesome.
So you should receive that by this evening. Okay,
Perfect. Because that'll be input to filling out the form.
right.
Mhm.
Thanks.
And this will have all
Yeah.
the cultural outings on it?
Yep, all the cultural outings.
Yeah,
Okay, good,
absolutely.
because I seem to have misplaced that email. It was from you, right?
Yeah, but there's also a link in the tour folder, so you can find it there too.
Okay.
Everything that you need should be in that tour Google folder.
I
Yeah, I
can
didn't see
say
an email either. So
just
Yeah.
about those optional outings. I can recommend them. I've been to all those places, and I'm going to sign up to go again. So
It was the same
Well,
link as the announcement about today's Zoom meeting.
of today's Zoom meeting,
Oh,
right?
I see it. Yes.
Yeah.
okay, got it.
okay, we got one more person joining. So today we'd like to spend some more time on Guarani. I understand the Jamulists have been working on it, and that's been going well. So let me pull it up on the screen, and then Steve will be able to play along, and we can all mute and sing along. And before we do that, let me make sure that I really did start recording.
You did, Louis, because I already okayed the recording.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
yeah.
Okay, All
And
right. So before we begin, let's just review the text. And actually, let's just take a look at it. If anybody has any questions about any of the words, let me know and we can review.
and folks, just a caveat, my printer's on the fritz and I hadn't printed this one out in advance, so I'm reading the screen share along with you all. So apologies if I don't keep up with something. Second tenor, first tenor, everybody muted. And Lewis will do that repeat at letter A. We'll come back,
Um,
shall we?
yeah, we'll do the repeats. Sure, why
Okay.
not? Yeah, just we repeat the refrain every time. So
So about
just get that
three.
in everyone's heads. So just quickly going through the text. Zen misho dash gesen manrubed geger shunjik mag shuncher hibendin deger, which means the Michaud field, they say, was a beautiful place. It was like a breath of fresh air, a medicine for the sick. And then the refrain, I decided to keep the refrain simple. Gorani, Gorani, Yaram, Gorani. So, Gorani, beloved Gorani. Second verse at letter B. Gorek im, actually, im Tsanilo Verin Artuhov Yarpiem Sirelo Zenle Kesintor, which means, so again, more evoking the fields, the pastoral setting, millet in my basket, the wind blows on the upper field, I am in love, they said, let it be. And then Yorani, Yaram Gorani. And then the third verse at letter D, Alashkert, Manaskert. Someone is trying to join. Those are two locations in this region that we're singing about. Duran Uchotov, Durana clover and grass. Zen yarod Tzotzernyem Anush Uhotov. So the bosoms of Zen are fragrant. Anush and Hotov are actually synonyms. So it's just sort of fragrant and fragrant. And then Gorani, Gorani, Yaram Gorani. Any questions about the lyrics?
Lewis, just
Yes.
the KH and the GH, how did you pronounce those?
Oh, KH is ch, like as in Russian. The GH is r, it's voiced. So here's the difference. Ch, r. You hear the difference?
Do that again.
Ch, r. So the r sound is like in French, rue. That sound. Okay,
Rue.
it's the voiced uvular fricative.
Is that the G?
R, the GH, the GH.
The GH
A
is
plain
the
G is G. So like the word at measure 4 is ger. Okay. And then at measure 8, der.
Okay.
And Gorani, it's a G sound. Okay. And just as a reminder, generally in Armenian, the stress falls on the last syllable. So it's Gorani, it's not Gorani. Okay. the way it's set, it makes it clear. Gorani, Gorani, Yaram Gorani. Any other questions? Okay, let me mute myself if I can do that while I'm screen sharing.
Hey, one more, Lewis.
Yes,
CH?
please go ahead.
CH is ch or ch?
Ch, it's a j. Yes. Give me a measure number. Give me a word.
It's the third line. Shun chick
Six,
maka.
measure
So-
six. Five,
Um,
measure five.
Right. That's ch. Yes.
Thanks.
Shun chik ma. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. And
One
whenever you
second.
see an apostrophe that's aspirated, shun chik, there's a ch, definite explosion of air on the ch, but not on the k because it is not aspirated. Anything else? All right, good. Well, let's run through it, Steve. You can see me,
Okay.
see the screen, okay?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
good. Okay, here we
Take it
go.
away.
Second verse, about 3, 4, 5.
Steve, I'm not hearing anything. Can anyone else hear Steve's keyboard?
No.
No,
No.
You're not hearing it?
can't hear
We're
it.
not hearing it.
You hear my
And-
voice though?
We
Yes.
hear
We
you
hear your
now.
voice. And the
Okay,
tempo is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. Okay.
Is it
Okay.
possible to make it larger at all? It was larger before.
How about this? You hear this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, not very
3,
well though.
here we go. Second verse, 3, 4, 5.
Now we're not hearing. Now we're not hearing it.
You don't hear it?
Not
Here
hearing.
are the notes for to give us
Nothing.
the initial notes, and then it
weird.
disappears.
I don't know why. I don't know why you're not hearing it. It's the same microphone, and I'm pointing it.
And you played the.
Do you have
the,
original sound for musicians on or off?
I do. I have it on. It is a new computer, and but you so you hear that,
You can hear
Yeah.
that.
and then
Maybe everybody has to mute. Is everybody else muted?
you don't hear it.
No. How weird.
We just hear the individual notes in the beginning, Steve, and then as soon as you start playing, it disappears. It's weird.
Oh my God.
But
Oh
I think
my
it's
God.
because you were speaking at the same time. We could hear those
So
notes.
when I stop speaking, you don't hear the piano.
Yeah,
That's-
it's not picking
that-
it up.
That's the weirdest thing.
Wow.
Hang on. Let me try something else. Do you hear me speaking?
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear me playing?
Nope.
Be the first note.
No.
I heard one note, and that
Jesus.
was it.
Jesus Christ. I've no idea why it should be doing this. It
Any chance, Steve, that you could sing along to your own playing? Maybe we could hear it that way.
I don't know why it says 2. Yeah, the test speaker and microphone. I can I can try. I don't let me go back to the automatic one, although I don't know.
Well, Plan B is for me to play a recording here. Who knows if that will work? But let's hang on a sec. Let's see if I can get if I can pull up a recording. And Zoom was fighting me about this the other day too. Let's see if we get.
I hear that.
You can hear that?
Yes, very quietly, but I can hear.
Very faint, yeah.
It's piano, so it should be quiet, but
No, but we can barely hear it.
can barely hear it. So that's not ideal either. So computers are not being friendly today. Well, I don't know, Steve. Any ideas on your side?
Are you guys are hearing me right now?
Can hear your voice.
Separate audio device. No, that's not going to be it. Original sound for musicians.
While you're checking that, let me
I'm
play
going to
again.
cancel the echo cancellation. There's something live performance recommended for multiple instruments. Let me try that. You still hearing me?
Very well.
Loud and clear.
You still hearing me?
Yes,
Yes.
Do you hear that piano?
Yes.
I heard that note.
Keep playing.
So where's the screen share, Lewis? I lost the screen share.
Well, I turned it off. I'll turn it back on.
Lewis, I don't hear you now, though.
All right. Why is he not hearing me? Can anyone else hear me?
I hear you, Lewis.
Very
Lewis,
well.
Me too.
I
You
hear
guys
you.
hear that?
I was getting a lot of distortion.
I see
and,
nodding heads, but you're all muted.
Can you hear me?
Steve and Lewis.
David Geltman said no, he didn't hear it.
We can hear your voice.
I don't hear
Steve.
any voices.
I can hear you, Steve.
I can
Lewis,
hear
I
your
don't hear
voices,
you
but I
either.
can't hear the piano.
Yep.
Same
What
here. I
happened
can
to
hear voices,
speaker?
but no
Oh, wait a
piano.
minute. Okay, go ahead, Lewis.
So you want me to play?
No. Did people hear anything?
We can hear
Yes.
Lewis.
You can't hear the piano?
We hear no music. We hear only
Still
speaking.
can't hear the piano.
No.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I turned the volume all the way up on my side. Let me see if you can hear me any better or this any better.
Very. Yes.
It's better.
Yeah, we can work with that.
All right, let's use this as a plan B. So, okay, we'll get started then. So mute yourselves and sing along. Tempo down a little bit here. I mean, dynamic. strongly here. Dynamic starts going down now. Any questions? Reminds me, does anybody either driving down or locally have a small drum and a tambourine they could bring?
I have some kind of tambourine somewhere, I think.
Why don't you
Um,
bring it along?
I have a small drum I can bring too.
Perfect. Okay.
Yep.
That's good. So that we can get used to doing it with percussion.
Yep.
Louis, can I look at the first page of the score?
Sure. Going back to the score, going back to the PDF. Yes.
Scroll up just a little bit.
Second system?
Yeah, letter A there.
Mhm.
Or what's next? Where do the basses split off of the baritones the first time?
We hold off the basses to
Yeah,
later.
where's the first split?
All
Where's the
right.
first?
21.
So it's four.
C.
So we start out two parts.
No, I just need to see the first time the basses split off of the baritones.
Ah, that would be at letter C. Here you go.
And where's how about the next spot? I can look for it later if you'd rather.
What are you looking for?
There was a note that I wondered about.
All
It
right,
went
take it
by.
offline and
Okay, all right. I'll look at it. I'll look at it on the website.
all right, sounds good. Um, okay, so then let's move on. So we were thinking we would just sort of go through the list and just see what people need to work more on, and then we can focus on those. So let me share. We can look at the list, and Steve, you speak up as well. Ray, you're raising your hand.
Yes, I think we should look at is it Hovan Hoinazanim?
That definitely needs some work. Do you have you printed the score out for that, Steve?
Yes, I have.
All right. Well, maybe we can work through it then.
Yeah, I'm worried about the piano
Oh, right, because
not getting picked up. I mean, I don't know how to. I'm really dismayed about this new computer not understanding, or me not figuring out how to get the thing to understand. I suppose I could unplug the Yeti and let the computer microphone. Let me try that.
well, you know, what I'm thinking, Steve, is we definitely need to work on Hoinazanim. I'm wondering if we should do it today or we should just make a note to spend some time on it at the first rehearsal on Friday. What do you think, Steve?
Well, we can do both,
We can
but
do both.
let me ask you guys, are you hearing that piano?
No.
Cannot hear the piano.
That is the string. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, that's okay because I had unplugged it. Oh no. Live performance audio off. Hang on. Default microphone has changed. Oh man, this is disaster. Original sound for musicians. Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, all right, we can make this work. So, Hoi Nazanim, it looks complicated, but it repeats a lot. And once we get once you get the basic parts down or the themes down, then it will be pretty easy to follow. So let us. Tenor 2, you just sing A throughout, so we're not going to worry about you. First tenor, let us. I'm gonna start sharing again, and we're gonna listen to your part, and we're just gonna go through the first refrain, which will take us up through measure 5. Oops. Hang on, let me pull it up. Okay, so this is the part that I want to focus on first, the first two systems. And let me pull up the recording so we can start with the tenor 1, so you see what that sounds like. And this and what you're hearing here is under tempo. Let's do it under tempo for now until we get it under our belt. So we're just going to go through measure 5, including the repeat. And let's start from the beginning. Okay, first tenors, are you good with that? All right, let's now listen to the basses. And of course this is baritones also. So basses and baritones, and this is, again, we're a little bit under tempo. And so basses, you see you've got a little bit of syncopation there. Make sure that you've got the rhythm right, and you should be good with that. So now let's hear what it sounds like all together a tempo. Right, and so as I said, once it's full tempo, it really sounds like it's in 4 rather than in 12/8. So let's hear how it goes. Okay, so it sounds fast, but you all can do fast stuff. You all sing Pai Duli, which also repeats a lot. So I think once you get the tune in your head, well, it'll be easy to go along with it. And we'll review well, we can review the lyrics now while we're going through it. Any questions about the notes? Okay, so let me share again. Let's look at the text. And, okay, so that should be. Okay, yeah. Hoi nazanim, Jan nazanim, Hoi nazanim, Jan nazanim, Nazan barov Nazan barov yekar tarerov yekar zorerov yekar Nazan barov yekar sarerov yekar zorerov yekar. Now we've got the verses here, which again repeat. Okay, let's go through these. So, Garnan sirun zagikes hoi nazanim nazanim, ins hamar adzunikes jan nazanim nazanim. And then, let's see, something went into the chat. I'm going to interrupt and try to get to the chat and see what it was.
You can keep going, Louis.
Chatting about.
It's for later.
Okay.
It's okay. We
all
can keep
right.
going.
All right. And then, all right, so that's verse 1. Oh, I'm sorry. And then, of course, it repeats and repeats and repeats. The second part of verse 1. Gulchis vero petitur hoi nazanim nazanim nach shuntev iternikes jan nazanim nazanim. And then we repeat the refrain. Yarjandu barov yekar kanach sarerov yekar chokor zorerov yekar. And then we repeat Hoi nazanim nazanim, jan nazanim nazanim, repeat, repeat, repeat. Then letter C. Sarer zore yet katzek, hoi nazanim nazanim. Im yari jamben batzek, jan nazanim nazanim. And then yar yari hetzoselis, hoi nazanim nazanim. Akanj arek imatzek, jan nazanim nazanim. And then we repeat Yarjandu barov yekar kanach sarerov yekar chochor zorerov yekar. And we end. So, Fiona, your question.
Yeah, before we wrap today, I just want to make sure I have the list of what we're likely to sing next weekend or perform next weekend, so that we just make sure we can put focus on that this week. So just before we wrap today.
All right, so why don't we actually segue to that now? So there are two questions. One is, what will we practice, and then what will we record in the sanctuary? And so I'd like to record we want to record a few pieces in the sanctuary to make sure we get some good solid recordings. For the last year or so, we've either not gotten recordings from concerts, or people start recording in the middle of the song, which doesn't help us very much. So we're going to actually do a few takes. And what I'm suggesting we do is Ach die Steppe Shirokaya, which of course is an old favorite, Kastiatadi, and one of the Georgians, maybe the Shenkharvanachi. We all know that. That should be easy to record. I mean, the Katli Kacheti version. Unless, Ray, you think we're up to recording one of the other Georgian pieces, it's up to you. You're muted.
Sorry, my space bar is supposed to unmute me, but it didn't. Yeah, to me, Alberto might be possible as well.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, that's certainly possible. And
Could you just give the first couple of songs? I'm just writing that down.
okay,
Steppe,
which you all know.
Kastiatadi,
Kastiatadi,
and
either
Shenchar and Ortsmindau.
correct. And if we have time, I would add Surp, so we have an Armenian one. But I think that should be.
And maybe one of the sacred pieces. If the acoustic is
well,
as flattering as we
Shankar and Surp are both sacred. So
yeah, but maybe one of the church, maybe the one of the Russian Orthodox pieces, if we're feeling in good voice and
sure
are interested.
Yeah, Glasomoim would be a good one to record, for example. So how does that sound to you, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Fiona, as far as, I mean, since the touring group doesn't actually have a concert of its own, so all of the American, Armenian, Georgian, and non-Russian stuff is on our plate for the weekend.
Totally. I was just thinking, I know there was a couple
Right.
of points where some people are going to break off and like do something at the coffee hour, and there's a thing
Yeah.
earlier on in the Sunday. So again, I just want to make sure we get the right
Right.
things in mind for that.
So those 4 to 6 pieces Louis just listed are the ones that
Perfect.
we'll try to record in the sanctuary and probably sing at the coffee hour maybe as well.
Yeah, we'll do a subset of those at the coffee hour. We probably wouldn't do Ach die Steppe. We would do sacred stuff, but I think that would that's what we would focus on at the coffee hour.
Perfect. Just want to make sure.
Okay.
Put extra focus on things that I know we're going to rehearse everything, but anything we're going to perform, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
When is the sanctuary
All
recording?
right, so let me review the order of business for the weekend. So our first rehearsal is Friday night, starts at 7:30, and we will be woodshedding newer material that evening. Then Saturday morning, if any other alumni want to drop in, they are welcome to do so. Saturday morning will be mainly sort of brushing up familiar stuff. And we'll make sure that by that point we have covered all of the things that we plan to record. Then at the end of the morning, and at the end of the morning, we will traipse down to the sanctuary, do recordings there, break for lunch. Then after lunch, continue where we left off. Then, and then after Saturday afternoon, the campus chorus is taking off. They're going to Salisbury, Maryland. So we will not see them Sunday morning. Sunday morning, there are a couple of things going on. Joe has arranged for a small ensemble to sing at All Souls Unitarian Church, which is a couple miles away. Other folks encourage you to come to the 11 o'clock service at St. John's, or at least be there in time for coffee hour at 12. But I'm going to be there. Fiona, you know Rob Fisher, right?
Yes, I do.
So why don't you make a point of being there as well? We
100%.
want to have enough people so that we have a presence there.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to hearing him preach. He's lovely.
Yeah.
Louis, one quick question. What is the start time on Saturday morning?
9:30.
Thank you.
And just a point, Sunday is daylight savings time change.
Good reminder. Oh yeah.
So an hour earlier. And not to exclude people, but we need to do the Unitarian Church with the small group. So if you haven't been contacted, we won't be asking you to go there. It'll be basically 9. We have to meet at 9:30 there, and that'll be 8:30 by the old time. So you're probably lucky if you haven't been contacted by me.
Well, and we want you to come to St. John's instead, because we don't want to give the impression that we're just sort of, crashing the party at St. John's. We'd like to have a presence there. So then coffee hour, then grab lunch, come back. Next rehearsal will be started roughly 1 p.m. and then we'll continue to 3 o'clock, and then we will, then the Caucasus stuff will be done. Meanwhile, the campus chorus will be out at Salisbury. They'll be coming back Sunday night, and there is a concert on Monday, March 10th, 7 p.m. at the Russian Cultural Center. And I mentioned this when at the beginning. Some people who joined late may not have heard. There may be a concert on Friday the 7th at 5 p.m. on Capitol Hill Presbyterian Church. This is something that is coming together at the very last minute, and we won't even know if it's happening until Tuesday. If it is happening, I'll send word out to everybody so that they know what's going on. And
Louis, what's the
yes.
schedule for Saturday afternoon?
So Saturday afternoon, so lunch break, come back, rehearse. We're done by 3:30 on Saturday.
Thank you.
Ray.
So there's nothing Saturday evening?
Saturday evening is free. That is correct. If you know a Georgian restaurant we can crash, in DC, we could go.
Yes,
I do know our Georgian
Super is
restaurant.
less than a mile away, if that's what you're thinking of too, Ray.
I think so. Yeah.
It's 1205 11th Street Northwest.
Okay, well that sounds like a target of opportunity. Let's do it.
Do we need to call and make a group reservation? Probably. There's a whole gang of us.
Yeah, we'll take a head count when we Friday night. We can't really get a head count until the students show up and we know what they want to do.
But they
Well, wait a
won't
minute,
be there.
Saturday night, they'll
won't be
be
there.
out, so they won't be there. Just a
So-
second, there's somebody at the door. Forgive me.
Are you talking about going out Friday between that concert and rehearsal, or are we talking about going out Saturday night?
Saturday.
Yeah, there won't be time. There won't be a lot of time between the concert and the rehearsals
Makes
Friday.
sense. Makes
That's
sense.
right.
So where are you talking about going out Saturday night? And could you repeat the name of the church where it might happen Friday? Capitol
Friday
Hill?
is Capitol Hill Presbyterian Church. And Saturday, there's a Georgian restaurant, apparently at 1205 11th Street Northwest.
It's
I
called
see.
Supra, like the Georgian Supra.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dalmar Jost.
I've been there once about 5 years ago. It's very good. I hope it still is holding up.
I was
Going
there
back to
a couple
Hoy
years ago.
Nazanim,
Yes.
just to point out that the second tenors can really anchor us with the pedal, you know, the on-beat pedal, because
Steve,
the firsts and the low voice have the canon of that swung 3/8 rhythm. So
yeah, Steve is absolutely right. It's really interesting the way Gomidas wrote this, which is that when it sounds like a monotone, but it really anchors the whole ensemble. The second tenor is really important there. So don't and yes, if it's good rhythm, that will help everything else stay in rhythm as well.
and because they have the text without the rhythmic embellishment also, second tenors, if you commit to sort of grabbing a hold of that text, and then a couple of tenors should also commit to really learning the solo bits with some confidence. That would be handy too.
Right. We would like at least two soloists on this. Probably one solo on the first verse and another solo on the second verse. But we need at least two first tenors ready to go.
I'm sorry, what piece are you talking about now?
Hoy Nazanim.
Oh, okay.
The one we were in the middle of working on.
Right.
There have been a lot of starts and stops. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay, I think we've done enough on that. Now we'll, of course, we'll come back to it next week. So shall we look again at the hit parade and see what else requires attention? The Aslanuri Mnavrajamier, are you guys good with that?
I could use it.
Speak up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. So
Oh,
that
good,
can use it?
good.
Yeah.
I'd like to go through that. The Aslanuri.
Well, we're here for you. Let's do it.
I'm very glad of that.
Okay, so let's see. All right, so we still, Steve, we still don't have a way to connect your keyboard in, right?
I don't think you want me to just futz around with it.
All right.
Online.
I've got a recording of it. Hang on. And actually, Ray, remind us how we sing this, how we get these piles of consonants. How do we get through all these piles of consonants here? it's easier than it looks. So what I'm referring to, like where the tutti mraujamier, that remember the w, it's not a v, it's more like a w. So don't get hung up on that. Mraujamier. It
So,
should come
right, where you,
across the right.
yeah, where you've
Yes.
got that. So mra'i mraul jamier. Mra'i mraul jam. So you can do it that way. You can go mraul jamier. Mra'i aval mraval. So the v, though, you don't have to say v, because it is in between a v and a w. And again, sometimes I swear they are definitely saying w. There's no v in it at all, and that in my experience, that tends to be in chants, in liturgical music, especially. But in any case, you just don't agonize over it. The most important thing is to be on time.
Right.
So mra jamir. So mra is important. Ja is important. The mra jamir is not so critical.
Let's listen to the Bonnie part. Everybody, even if you're not singing the Bonnie part, it's important that you tune to the Bonnie part, because the Bonnie part is going up step by step, and so you need to sing along, be singing with them. So let me play a bit of this, and then you can sing along your own part together with that Bonnie foundation. Okay. So now let's play through with all the parts together, including your own.
So can I just make a
Yes.
note?
Please.
At what is it, 12, 13, 14, 15 to 16, it's very important that the basses, that the banebi hold over there, because you see the top two voices go out there, and there should be a very solid bani section holding through there. And again, this is one where, if you feel like singing the bani, please do, because
it's not a low part. Anybody can sing this.
Yeah, and we don't, it's again, the bani part should kind of not predominate in that that's all you hear, but it should feel like there are loads and loads of people singing the bottom part. So, yeah.
Good. So in fact,
so I mean, I might sing the bottom part because we got lots of top and lots of middle.
we got lots of top. So let's make the bottom part strong. Yep. Okay, so let's play through that much once more, all the parts. Oh, and I should say, the synthesizer screwed up the ornamentation there. It should be rapid grace notes as is customarily done. Disregard what's in the recording. And if we've notated this correctly, we've put commas where you should breathe. And if you don't see a comma, don't breathe. So that, for example, includes the Bonnie part at measure 15 that we were just talking about. Okay?
Yeah, just a note, if I may, in 12, 13, 14, in 15, in the middle voice, you see that there's that little ornament in the top voice. The middle voice should also do the analogous ornament, right? So it's okay. The parallel ornament. And I think, is there somewhere else that happens? I guess it's just in the second, in the repeat, it happens again.
The repeat, it's the same deal. So that would be here at measure 30, 35.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And as far as, how do you figure out the timing? The top and the middle don't have to be exactly together when they do that ornament. And it is sort of the middle voice. When the middle voice goes, then the top voice goes. So you don't have to be exactly lined up. You don't have to force yourself to be not lined up either. But yeah, listen for the middle voice doing that little ornament before the top goes.
Great. Any other questions on this piece?
It's much easier to sing than to read, that's for sure.
Again, it's one of these things. Once you get it under your belt, then it's pretty simple and straightforward. Okay, going back, we got like 10 minutes. Steve, was there something eating you that you felt that we ought to be sure to cover today?
No, I'm just looking forward to getting in a room together.
Yeah. I really want to hand it to you guys that your willingness to work on this stuff ahead of time, so that when we get together in Washington, we will have a leg up on this. That it wouldn't be possible to do this tour if you weren't all joining us every weekend to do this. So really, thank you all for your commitment to making this work.
Thanks for organizing it.
Happy to do it.
Got a question. Yeah, I've been working a lot on Zirva Latvia, and I have been having an incredibly hard time not sounding like a goose on some of those really high notes. And I was wondering how many first tenors there are.
Actually, we're up to 6 or 7, and most of that stuff is falsetto, Tom.
Okay. I will do my best. I'm just thinking that if I start, honking, I want to be able to maybe.
Yeah. No, it's very light, and it's almost instrumental the way Alex wrote that arrangement.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a huge. He wrote cello double bass parts for the low voices and cello viola parts for the baritones and the seconds. And yeah, and I should say also, in addition to all the work that you guys are doing, I've been in touch a little bit with a couple of singers in the. I reached out to some of the campus chorus people, and there's a boyfriend girlfriend team. Valentina signed up as a second tenor. She sings second tenor in the campus chorus because they have a lot of first tenors. And I said, you must be some kind of alto. Are you, can you sing first tenor? She said, well, I'm in the second tenor section of the campus chorus, but I can learn first tenor on the new stuff like the spirituals and some of the other stuff. And she said, my boyfriend is also in the second tenor section, but he could learn baritone on some of the new stuff. And I said, that would be perfect. And I said, it might be more fun. And she said, we're practicing the new stuff together anyway. I said, well, that could be more fun. Now you can harmonize. So they also are, as busy as Yale College undergraduates are, as we all know, they've also, set aside time to look at this stuff in advance, maybe not necessarily of next weekend, but certainly of May. So that's also encouraging. I guess there's, what is it, Louis, 8
Seven.
campus chorus people
8,
joining
yeah,
us?
we'll see.
Seven.
Seven. Yeah. So that's
Possibly
terrific.
8. Yeah, it is great.
There was a time when we weren't sure that it would be more than 1 or 2. So I think that's really nice. And
It is
we're up
good,
to
and
like,
it's good that
and so we're up to, I think, 32 singers all told. And with the
is
number of
great.
you who volunteered with the number of baritones who are conscripted into the bass section and the number of tenors who've slid over to the first, it's actually close to a reasonably balanced group. And given that the Georgian Armenian and some of my American stuff are in 3 parts, I think it'll be a respectable balanced sound that we can achieve. So in our fashion. So yeah, but Tom,
yeah,
I don't know if you've got any of the anniversary recordings of Zirvalasia.
I do.
It always the reality of Zirvalasia always falls a little short of the ideal, but it's a
Okay.
it's a glorious piece. So it's a very
the
special
wonderful
score
piece.
it's a
Yeah.
very demanding score. We will do our best, but yeah, it's it could always be better. It's reality of
And
it.
as long as the intention is there, you don't, but there's 6 or 7 of us,
Okay.
for sure. So should be.
How do you guys feel about Bandura? You guys okay on that, or should we take a look at it? Did I see
Oh,
it?
I'd really love a look at that. That's a hard piece.
Yeah, let's have a look at it.
Let's have a look at it. All right. Oh, and actually, it's a good thing we're looking at this, Steve, because it's got all kinds of divisi. We might want to check. We're either here or in Washington. We're going to have to check the divisi on this. Decide who's going to do what. Let me share my screen again. In fact, let's just check the splits. Okay, so the top.
This is that's just first and seconds.
Yeah, but there's a baritone split. Let me find that. Oh yeah, we're good. Maybe it's just at the end. Where is that? I know. Yeah, here. See. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is measure 45. We've got baritone split, and we've got bass split, although you see on measure 40, 45, 46, 47, in the bass, the low F is preferred, but an octave up is acceptable. And then where else Yeah, so it's just those last few measures then that the I guess what I would say is baritones. If you feel like you've got a good high G, go for it, and if you don't, then take the lower part. Joe Finetti, you would take the high baritone here, right? We still have Joe. We might have missed him.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I could sing that G, but it's a soloistic G. I would probably probably have to sing it falsetto, but I certainly have the note.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll figure that out when we got it together. But yeah, the Dennis didn't make it easy for the baritones. They cross above the second tenors there, so we need to make sure that it doesn't sound overwhelming there. So anyway, let's go back to the beginning and take a look at it. So again, we've got we got lots of repetition here, but let's just go through it and see. Just remind people how it goes. And we just got a couple minutes here, so we'll just have to go through this to the end. Of course, we'll do more next week. There. And it just occurred to me, since we've got second tenors who are donating their services to the baritone section, you guys would be, first choice to do that high baritone part. Okay. Okay, we're coming up the end of the hour. Any other questions before we break? Ray, yes, over to you.
Just I haven't heard from anybody clamoring for Odoia solos. Now I know some people in this group and on this call, I think, have done some of those solos. So please claim them. And I should say that there's a solo that's not in the music, that's not in the chart, that comes at the end, while everybody's kind of doing that da 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 da. There's a solo up on top. And somebody told me that Glenn Storrs used to do that solo. So if if he's willing
Glenn
to admit
doesn't
to that.
remember that. Not sure that's true.
Anyway, I will come up with the appropriate vocables and words for that little solo, but it would be really handy for somebody who's done it before. So.
And Ray, I'm available for whatever you need. So.
Okay, great. Okay.
Zapisalsia dobrovolcem. You will enlist voluntarily.
There you go. Exactly.
25 years.
Yes, or the Marines have a verb. I don't know if you've heard it. Is to be voluntold to do something. So. All right. Very good. Have a good evening, everyone. Good seeing you.
Okay.
Tom,
Thank you, Louis.
I do have Louis. Sorry
Thank you,
about
Steve.
the sound on the new computer. I'll try to have it figured out by the Ides of March.
This is the high point of my week every week.
I'm glad to hear it.
Looking
We'll
forward
see
to
y'all
seeing
next week.
you in
See you
person.
next
Yeah.
week. Great. Bye bye.
See you in DC.
See you in Washington.
Yeah.